Hello, hockey fans, and welcome back to IceHogs Warm-Up. Joseph Zakshesky with you alongside head coach Jeremy Colliton for the Forest City Diagnostic Imaging Diagnosis of the game ahead of Game 1 action between the IceHogs and the Chicago Wolves. And, Coach, I know you've been asked this a few times over the course of the week. You've seen this team 12 times in the regular season, but I'd imagine the mental preparation has to be ramped up a new level. How's the approach been in this week's worth of practice?
Yeah, it's a different thing now where you play the same team potentially 5 games in a row, and, of course, we saw them twice last weekend, so you can really, you can get down to a little more detail. But in the end, it's just we know how we have to play to have success, and we're certainly aware of what they bring offensively. They got some high-end skill that will punish you if you give them too many opportunities. But we still, as usual, want to dictate the pace and tempo of the game and play in their end as much as we can, hold the puck there, force those top guys to play defensively, and wear them down. And so that's what we've been talking about all week.
Details the name of the game here, and I'd imagine execution as well for the Rockford IceHogs and the Chicago Wolves, and you touched upon it right there. I mean, what more emphasis can you bring, and how can you change up the messaging a little bit? Because, again, there's really no surprises when it comes to the Chicago Wolves.
I don't think we got to change up the messaging. It's playoff time, so it's just the energy is higher, and we know that if we want to extend our season, we got to be ready to go. So we had some time here to prepare, and we got some rest, and we got some work in, and now it's time to deliver. So we'll see how we handle that.
You talked about some of that high-end speed that the Chicago Wolves certainly have to offer. In Hog Talk and other interviews, you mentioned that you wanted to tweak things up or adjust things and approach things on the defensive side of the game. What adjustments have you reached out in terms of defense against this Wolves group here in practice?
Well, it's not that we're changing anything as much as just continue to talk about we must be aware defensively. We want to be ready to defend in transition. We want to be quick to close gaps on guys because you give them free looks, whether it's for one-timers or to pick their spot, they're going to hit it, and they're going to force our goaltender to make some big saves. So it's just to re-emphasize how important that is for our success against that team. And the other part of it is stay out of the box. We want to play 5-on-5 as much as we can, and that'll help.
Emotionally, I'd imagine everything's going to be running pretty high, especially going into Game 1 of a best-of-5 series. So certainly both teams looking to get off on the best start as physically possible. And out at Allstate Arena in Chicago, certainly it's going to be a rocking crowd out there as well as here at the BMO. But, I mean, what are you looking for from your group in the first 10 minutes or so? I'd imagine that's when the nerves and the jitters, if there are any, are going to show themselves.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of energy. I'm sure the pace will be high. And I just think we got to be smart. Puck management, win the lines, move pucks forward, play in their half of the ice. When you do that, you allow good things to happen to you. So we'll look to play simple, get ourselves into the game, get a couple quick shifts, and finish a couple checks, and make some simple plays, and then we'll feel our way into it.
You may have already touched upon this, but for you, I mean, what's going to be the biggest key here to get off to a great start in game number 1 against the Wolves?
One shift at a time. I think it could be a long series, but we can only play it one shift at a time. We want to give 30, 40 seconds of our best and get back to the bench and rest and get ready to do it again. So that's the detail that we got to focus on. That's the small goals that we got to deliver on those.
Well, Jeremy, I appreciate your time. Good luck tonight.
You bet. Thanks.
Head coach Jeremy Colliton joining us here for the Forest City Diagnostic Imaging Diagnosis of the game ahead of Game 1 action between the Rockford IceHogs and the Chicago Wolves. You're listening and watching Rockford IceHogs hockey on the IceHogs Broadcast Network.